Hey there, welcome to The Magic in the Music. I'm Jen. On this channel, I try to help you get the most out of your Disney Vacation Club membership, your Disney World vacation, and so much more. We do vlogs, we do all kinds of things. But today I am going to be talking about Disney World expectations versus reality. This list is primarily based upon my experiences as a Walt Disney World annual pass holder and as a Disney Vacation Club member. If you enjoy what we do here on The Magic in the Music, please be sure to visit our shop at themagicinthemusic.com. You can also find us on Patreon and Facebook, and we have all kinds of wonderful links to affiliate businesses in the description below, so please visit some of them as well. Okay, the first expectation I think that most guests have, and especially if this is your very first trip to Disney World, is that you imagine yourself walking down Main Street in Magic Kingdom Park, and you're going to be greeted by Mickey Mouse, and he's standing there just like in the promotional videos, and he opens his arms, and you go running to Mickey, or your child goes running to Mickey Mouse and gives him a big hug, and he's just waiting there for you. Well, you and 60,000 other people in the theme park that day. Unfortunately, the reality is that you are going to be walking down probably a crowded Main Street, and you are going to stand in line to meet Mickey Mouse. Now, it can still be a wonderful experience meeting Mickey. He'll still hug you and visit with you and interact with you and your kids and take pictures, and it's really a lot of fun to do the character meet and greets. I definitely recommend them, particularly if you have children, although a lot of adults love them as well. So is it possible to have that iconic experience of seeing Mickey? Absolutely. It's just that he's not going to be waiting there for you. You are going to have to make an effort and probably wait in a line at least a little bit to get to see him. Sometimes you do see spontaneous characters just kind of walking around, but they can't really stop and talk to you because they're usually walking to or from a meet and greet. So just have a realistic expectation about that. Okay, the second expectation that a lot of people have about Disney World is, well, it's going to be warm, beautiful weather. We are from the Pacific Northwest, so of course the idea of going to a warmer climate, particularly when it's cold here, is really appealing. But the reality is that about 2/3 of the year in Florida, it is very hot and humid. It's tropical weather. Disney does not have a bubble over the theme park. Some people seem to think that. They can't control the weather. And Florida, quite frankly, can have a pretty punishing climate a lot of the year. Of course, the winter time, particularly I would say November, especially December through maybe February or March, it can be pretty mild and really very, very comfortable. We've really enjoyed trips in December and sometimes January, although it can get a little cold in the winter time, but often it's quite nice. But once you start to get into about, April or so, it's going to start to get quite hot. In the summer months, when we typically travel to Disney World, it can be very hot and humid. Really, it's the humidity that makes it kind of so oppressive, and it's going to stay that way well into October. So you have to have realistic expectations about what you're going to be facing in terms of the weather. You need to be prepared. And if you want to learn more about how to visit Disney World in the summer, check out this video right up here. And that is going to be all about how to do Disney World in the summer. We have lots of tips and tricks that can make that a much more comfortable trip for you. Next up, expectation. It's not going to be crowded. Everybody won't be at Disney World. Of course not. Look, if your kids are out of school, it's going to be crowded at Disney World. That's just sort of the general rule. In fact, a lot of times, even when your kids are in school, it's going to be crowded at Disney World. There is not really an off time at Disney World anymore. At this point, there are just crowded times and more crowded times at Disney World. You are not going to have some kind of VIP experience where you walk in and it's just magically empty. There are times that are more crowded than others, and you can consult things such as touring plans to see the predicted crowd levels, and it's really wise to take a look at that because we do avoid the parks when it's predicted to be extremely crowded. But just know you are going to wait in some lines. You are going to see quite a few people when you're at Disney World. Next up, expectation. We're going to do it all. Reality. It's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen ever for most of us. We haven't done it all, and we have been so many times to Disney World, and people who go all the time often have not done it all. It's just such a vast place. If you haven't been there, it's really hard to understand the scale of the place. It is huge. There is so much to see and experience, and it's constantly changing, so you could never really keep up with it. Don't go in with the expectation that you're going to see and do everything. Go in with the expectation that you're going to go and see and do some really fun things, and you won't be disappointed. Okay, the next one on my list, it makes me think of a post I just read online today about someone having kind of a rough vacation. It wasn't at Disney, it was elsewhere, but expectation. Our family will be so grateful and they will behave perfectly on vacation. If you're a parent, you know the reality is that people are people and they're going to still be themselves at Disney. Family drama can still occur, conflicts can happen, people can annoy each other, just like what you would experience at home. If you have a kid who gets really cranky at home, they're going to get cranky at the theme parks. If you have family members who tend to fight with each other at home, they're going to fight with each other on vacation. Being at Disney is not a magical cure-all, and all of the same things that are there are going to be there when you're at the theme parks. So as long as you understand that and you do your best to make sure that everybody is comfortable and healthy and taken care of and needs are met, make sure that they all feel heard. Make sure that everyone in your party feels that they are getting to do something each day that they want to do. So even young children, you'll want to make sure that they have something that really kind of ticks one of their vacation boxes every single day. And as long as that's happening, you're probably going to have a pretty good trip. But remember, we are who we are, and that doesn't change just because we're at Disney World. Okay, the next expectation that is different from reality when visiting Disney World is this is going to be a relaxing vacation. I can imagine myself lounging in the sun and drinking a tropical drink and then just walking right onto a ride. It's not probably going to be like that. There could be moments, and especially if you're staying on property and you have easy access to the theme parks like a lot of DVC members do, it could be that way. If you don't plan very much in each day, it could be quite relaxing. But the bottom line is you are going to be probably walking a lot more than usual, so you're going to be feeling more tired. You're probably going to be in a warmer climate than you normally are in. For us, that is certainly the case. So we have to be prepared for how that is going to make us more tired than usual. And you know, it's like overstimulation sometimes. There are moments where everybody just needs to cool off. So make sure that you have built in breaks into your day and make sure that you are meeting the needs of everyone in terms of hydration and food and rest and time off their feet and time out of the sun, all of those things. You're only there for 2, 3, 4, 5 days. You are going to probably be going. Sometimes you need a vacation after your vacation, but it's still really fun. Next up, expectation. All of the other guests will be polite and behave themselves. Just like I said about you and your family being themselves when they go on vacation, it's the same with all the other guests. They bring their own baggage, their own issues, and their own behavior patterns with them to the theme park. Is it true that people are generally trying to be polite and happy and have a nice time and make it pleasant? Absolutely. I would say that people are generally happier when they are on their Disney vacations than what you might encounter in normal life. However, people also, their patience runs thin. They get tired. Just like I talked about with your own family, the same thing can happen with other people's families. But I still feel like we meet so many wonderful people there. By the way, if you see me in the parks, be sure to come and say hello and let me know that you've watched the channel before. I love meeting viewers in the parks, but not everybody feels that way. Not everybody is as social as others. So, some people are going to wear out faster in that crowded, sort of exciting, stimulating environment. The next expectation is an easy one for some of us to get into, especially those of us who are planners. And I'm a planner myself. If I plan everything out, it's going to go perfectly according to plan. Or another version of this is if I spend tons of money everything should be perfect and I should never be inconvenienced at all. Well, I think you all know that that is an absolutely unrealistic expectation. No amount of planning is going to make the vacation perfect, and no amount of money is going to make it perfect either. Things happen. Your flight gets delayed. People get tired. They want to go back to the hotel. Someone twists their ankle on the trolley tracks on Main Street. Watch out for that, okay? That always freaks me out. Someone feels ill. A ride breaks down that you had your heart set on riding. Just be flexible. Things are going to happen. And just try to remember that the worst day in the most magical place on earth is probably better than one of your best days at work. Okay, my next expectation is Disney can control everything and make my vacation perfect. Well, Disney can do a lot of wonderful things, and really we're talking about the cast members who make all this sort of magic happen for us, right? So yes, they can do a lot. Yes, they can make things easier for you if you're nice to them. Be nice to cast members. It's always really important that they sometimes are enforcing rules or policies that it's not their decision. It's just their job to enforce that rule. Cast members are just people too. I mean, they're going to have bad days just like the rest of us. They're going to do their best to give you a great experience, but be nice, be patient, be kind to them. Taking the time to be friendly and polite to cast members is always a good policy. Those tend to be the moments when you have those little like extra magical things happen just because you treated people with kindness and respect. So that is a great policy to always have. My final expectation versus reality for Disney World is expectation. Disney will make our experience magical. When the reality is the magic of your trip is going to depend a lot on you and your attitude. So if you come in with a great attitude, you're flexible, you're there to have a good time and be kind and respectful to others, you're probably going to have a wonderful trip. If you come in ready to find fault with everything, irritated, tired, unprepared, you are probably not going to have the best experience. So just bring a great attitude and be ready to be wowed by your Disney World trip, because every time we go, we find some new kind of magical moment that we had not experienced before. And that's why we keep coming back. You might ask, why do people keep returning to Disney World and vacationing there over and over again? Because we keep finding new experiences that take our breath away and just make it really special. And that's what the magic is. You bring the magic to the theme parks. They set the stage for it, and you are the one that brings it. If you want to learn how to get the most out of your Disney World vacation, make sure you check out this video right over here. We also think you're going to love this video right over here. Make sure you visit us at themagicinthemusic.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a fantastic day, everybody. Bye.